Hello, I'm Alan Hurlbert, Director of Caterpillar's Count, and in this video, I'll be showing you how to use the Manage My Surveys tool to easily find and edit surveys that you have submitted, and also to review um, potentially problematic surveys that maybe others have submitted for the site that you manage. So, assuming you're on the website and you're logged in, you're just going to go to My Account, Manage My Surveys, and you'll see a list of all of the surveys in reverse chronological order. Not only that you have submitted, but again, if you were a site manager, you'll see surveys from sites that you manage as well. Now, let's say the simple scenario where you realize after the fact, after you submitted a survey, that you made a mistake you want to correct. So, for example, here's a survey where, oops, actually, I meant to, there we go, look at this. I'm changing it on the fly here to say, oh, here's a scenario where I reported a beetle. I noted some distinguishing characteristics, and maybe I was talking to my colleagues after the fact, like, oh yeah, I saw this really cool beetle. It had an X on its back. It had some other features. And someone I'm talking to realizes, oh, you know what? That is actually a distinguishing feature of the true bugs. And maybe it wasn't a beetle. And as we talk about it some more and describe it some more, I realize I made a mistake. So on this Manage My Surveys page, um, I can easily edit a record. You actually just saw me do it here. I can click on this pencil and paper edit button. And now every aspect of this survey record is editable. I can edit the date. Maybe I made a mistake on the survey branch code, etc. But in this case, if I need to change what I initially reported as a beetle to a true bug, I can do that. I can add some notes if I want, and I can save that change. Okay, so very easy to edit a record that you've already submitted. Now, in this case, that record I wanted to edit, it was the most recent record, so it showed up at the top. But in some cases, maybe you submitted 30 surveys on a day, and you want some help finding that survey. So that's what this yellow filter surveys button is for. If you click that, you'll see you can quickly zoom to particular surveys, sets of surveys based on who submitted it, particular arthropods that were reported on that survey. Um, oops, let's see here. Maybe you remember, oh, I know it was that survey branch EJS. You can click this and put in a particular branch code like EJS. Or maybe you want to filter to surveys on a particular date and branch code, etc., right? So you can do whatever you want here. Click Apply Filters, and it will help you zero in on particular surveys or sets of surveys. So also you could maybe if you accidentally submitted a duplicate survey, and right next to the edit button, there's a little trash can, so you can delete a survey record as well. Now, let's imagine, I'm going to remove this, but let's say you're a site manager. It's actually great if on a weekly basis or so, you can check in and see whether there are any problematic surveys that have been submitted at your site over the past week. And by problematic, I mean things that have flagged and that show up in this needs review section. So if we ask it to display the surveys that need review, basically we're checking for unusual values automatically, unusual values of arthropod length, arthropod count, leaf length, leaf count, etc. So there are several examples here, but you can see we have the survey results itself, the survey record. But then in this highlighted pink section, we see, hey, here's why this survey is being flagged. So in this case, someone reported a 300 millimeter long aphid, which that would be a very long aphid. In fact, such aphids don't exist on the planet at this point in time. And so, maybe you look at this and you say, you know what, that was almost certainly a typo. I can fix that myself. Like I'm familiar with the site. I remember I've been seeing aphids at this site and they tend to be 3 millimeters. So this is almost certainly a typo. And I want to edit that 300 and change it just to 3. Like I know what to do. I'm going to go ahead and edit it. So that's one possible outcome. Um, Another possible outcome, maybe you're not quite sure how to fix the survey and whether it really was a 300 millimeter aphid. And you didn't do the survey, but by clicking this email button, we auto-generate an email addressed to the person who did submit it, just describing, hey, you know what? There was an unusual value in a survey you submitted. Here are the details. And just asking the person, can you please double check it, right? So they can log in themselves and they will maybe have a better sense of how that record should be corrected or if it really was a 300 millimeter aphid, right? So it should populate that email with your name if you're a site manager, right? So it's coming from you. And so just with that, with 2 clicks of a button, you could generate this email and send it. You can also modify the email. You can add text in here if you want to put in some particular notes yourself. But we're trying to make this very easy for you to contact people and ask them about problematic records. We can just look at a few other examples here. So here's another example. Actually, this survey is flagging for 2 reasons. There's an extremely unusually long bug, a 300 millimeter ant reported, but also some unusually long leaves reported. So in this case, this is an American beech branch. There are no American beeches that have 60 centimeter leaves. Um, so maybe we want to we want to edit that record and modify that value of the leaf length. Maybe we want to email the person. Uh, Maybe if this was a survey done on a different tree species, let's say uh, in South Carolina, we have sites that do surveys on cabbage palmetto, which have very long leaves. And so maybe actually 60 centimeters, although it trips our flag, we realize, you know what? Although that's an unusually long value, we want to accept it. So we can check, you know what, that is okay, and we accept this record. And so then it will no longer show up as being flagged. It's been reviewed, someone checked it and said, you know what, this one's okay. So that's another potential outcome. Uh, so another example here, we might look at this. Now this one's being flagged because someone reported one dry leaf. It's a visual survey, so traditionally, the protocol for a visual survey is it does require 50 leaves. But also, as we look at this, we see that this person reported basically 8 different arthropod groups, all exactly 1 millimeter long, a quantity of 1. It seems like, you know what, was this a real survey? Maybe someone was just testing the app or playing around. If for some reason, now of course we can email this person, but we might just decide, you know what, this seems not trustworthy, and we're going to go ahead and reject this as a reliable survey record. Maybe we email, they never get back to us after some period of time. We decide we're going to just go ahead and reject it because it just doesn't look like an actual, it would not be realistic to find. Some of these groups you never really see 1 millimeter long, or you wouldn't be able to identify them at 1 millimeter long. Tasty, another weird note here, right? So those are your options. When you see a flag survey, you can edit it and fix it directly. You can email the person, you can accept it, or you can reject it. So if site managers kind of keep an eye on these flag surveys on a weekly basis, then that increases the chance that you're reaching out to the person with questions relatively recently or relatively soon after they actually submitted it, and it'll be fresher in their mind how to address that. And that will just keep the data quality of our data set very high. So we appreciate everyone using that Manage My Surveys tool. So hope that was helpful. And send us an email at caterpillarscount@gmail.com if you have other questions. Thank you.